Reduce the procrastination.
All right, we are good to go.
All right. So I've got the signal that we're live, so we'll go ahead and start the meeting. My name is Commissioner Barris. I am the head of the Planning Commission, and just like to welcome those that are in the public today in the meeting. Also anybody that's online, and we'll let you know when you can participate on which items. We'll go ahead and with the approval of the minutes, this is kind of a unique situation where we have two actually meetings that we're going to be approving the minutes for March 23rd, 2023, and also April 27th, 2023. So, Commissioners, this is one item. Hopefully you've had a chance to review the minutes for both of those meetings. Are there any suggestions for like additions or deletions? Any concerns with the minutes? If not,
Mr. Chair, I move approval of the minutes.
Okay, awesome. Okay, we got an approval for the minutes and a motion to approve and a second. So we'll just do a voice vote all together. All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so those pass unanimously in the affirmative. So we'll go ahead now with the conditional use permit for Big Rigs Landscaping located at 570 East, 100 North. And we'll turn the time over to the staff for their report. There we go. There we go. Yes, there we go.
All right.
Awesome.
Yay.
So, there we go. All right, for our first conditional use permit, it is for Big Rigs Landscaping located at 570 East, 100 North. We are doing a conditional use permit for Jackson Rigby. He is on 0.21 acres. It's a single family, and right now he's applying for a major B home occupation for his landscape company. As you can see right here, this is where his home's located at, right on 100 North, and he just currently purchased this. So as far as phone call, we've had one neighbor call to ask what the conditional or the sign was in front of his yard. Maybe we've had two. I think that maybe we've had two phone calls. I've had one, and I think Dan had one. He will not have any clients coming to the home or employees. He has one truck and one trailer for business, and you can see there's room to park all of his equipment on his property, and he'll be working normal hours from 8 to 5. And staff is recommending approval for this home occupation and conditional use permit for Big Rigs Landscaping located at 570 East, 100 North.
Awesome. Is Mr. Rigby here by chance tonight?
No, he's not.
He's not. Okay. I guess we'll have to ask the commissioners if there's any questions that they have, or if we feel okay about moving forward. Any conditional uses or any conditions we need to impose, but what questions do you have, commissioners?
No storage of materials and so on the property.
And no clients?
No clients, no employees. He knows that all deliveries, everything will be made. Well, it's not, there's no deliveries. It's
Everything will be
trailers.
delivered to the site instead of at the house, if needed, yeah.
As far as landscape materials, but
It's pretty simple. I don't think there's any conditions would need to be imposed then, past what staff is.
in speaking with him, I recommend approval on it as far as him abiding by all of our regulations that we have for a major B home occupation.
Yeah.
Then I would just recommend move approval, then make a motion to move approval or to make approval for conditional use permit for Jackson Rigby Big Rigs Landscaping at 570 East, 100 North.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion for approval and a second. We will start the voting with Commissioner Lyon.
Aye.
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 Okay, so that passes unanimously. We'll go on to the next item of business, which it, sorry.
I'm so excited.
You're just like so excited to do this next one. Okay, well, let me announce it, and then we'll let you. Okay. All right. So we have a conditional use permit for Upper Hand Holsters located at 140 North Main Street. I'm taking it that you're doing this one again. So.
How'd you guess?
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
All right. So, conditional use permit, Upper Hand Holsters. It's for Britton Peterson and his father, Kevin Peterson, who's not here, but he has been very involved in the process of the business. We're really excited for this business to come into town. They're right here on 140 North Main Street. And as you can see, they're located in the strip mall across, it's just directly south of Taco Time. As you can see from this is the previous owners that were in this building, giving you kind of an idea of where they're going to be. When they came in to apply for this business license, we found that they are going to be, they're producing and manufacturing holsters for guns. And because of the manufacturing component to it, where we're in a central commercial zone. However, the manufacturing, because it is a light industry manufacturing, we needed to do the conditional use permit, which is what in your packet you can see is 1723-4. We had also included in that packet their process and equipment. So you can see here what they're going to be using and the machinery, and basically it's a Kydex holster, so they've been printing them from 3D printer. They've had quite the process. So it started out in the basement of their home and has since continued to grow, and they were looking for new space. So this commercial location popped up. However, because it is a manufacturing business, we needed to do the conditional use permit. Staff has worked with the applicants, and we are recommending approval for light industry at 140 North Main Street for Upper Hand Holsters with conditions outlined in 17-23.
Great. I'll just make,
No, go ahead.
I'll just make a couple comments. This is one of the ones that you do want to approve. I mean, I'm just going to be favorable. You want to be able to grab these organic businesses. Having done business retention and expansion for counties and cities and for the Governor's Office of Economic Development, these are very crucial because when you have businesses that are growing outside that envelope of the home office or the home business and need to find space, you want to be able to have them come in and be able to get the conditional use, because eventually they're going to outgrow this space, and then you're going to want them to go in that flex space.
That's the hope, right?
And then you're going to want them to go that flex space just down the road here and be able to grow and be able to develop. I mean, this is one of these great little home businesses that has legs and will grow and hopefully be employing 30 or 40 people in the city eventually at a good wage here. And so I think this is a no-brainer for the commission. I mean, you see these all the time, people that do e-commerce or other types of businesses growing in these spaces. So I'm very favorable to this and think it's a good thing for business retention expansion for the city.
Agreed.
Cool. Any questions for the applicant?
I actually had a question, but you partially answered it by saying it was 3D printed. So,
Yeah, could you come up to the podium,
Come up
please?
podium.
Yeah.
I got some stuff.
Yeah, sure. Actually, Dan and I took a moment to watch a YouTube video for just a moment to see the process in which
Can I approach the, I don't know if it was like.
If you just state your name first, though, like just so we know who we're talking to.
My name is Britton Peterson. So,
All right. Okay. Yeah, I can come up.
So, this is one I made for my kid. It's a Nerf gun.
Okay.
This obviously is a fake gun. And this is kind of more like what we're doing is, these two, this is more just for show, but we hit, so people can hear me. We heat it up with plastic, with a t-shirt press, and then we can just vacuum it and form it right over those. So it's a pretty simple process. We buy this, we don't make it, I don't know. Any other questions?
I was just going to ask about waste.
Waste.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are some cut-ups on this. right now. We just load bags up in my truck and I haul it off to the dump.
And then dust? With
There will be
plastic?
some dust with the buffing of it. We do have festival dust collections going with it, and it seems to be working pretty good with our needs. It's not too loud.
That was
no
going to be,
decibel stuff.
that was maybe my question, is just the noise. Is
Yeah.
that, a nuisance for the neighbors, or is it pretty minimal?
It should be pretty minimal. My mom has let me do it in her basement for long enough that she hasn't kicked us out yet. We've outgrown it.
It is your
So-
mom, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a mom, but we do plan on adding a couple layers of drywall where we will be having the noisier things, so the Festal vacuum and the buffing wheels,
Good.
just to eliminate that. So,
Are you also going to be selling them from there? I mean, like have a place?
it will mainly be e-commerce, so
Oh,
selling
okay.
them online and just doing the manufacturing there. We may have a custom holster day once a month or two, just to get local people who can't get their stuff made for their guns, where we can come in and make it. That would be a cool service that we'd like to offer to locals, but mainly online.
It's really cool.
Okay, any other questions?
Answered all
Okay,
the
you can go ahead and sit
questions.
down, thanks. So I guess the thought, we just have to discuss if there's any other conditions we would need to impose beyond what's in the city ordinance, so. It sounds like there's been already some, commitment to address the noise, so.
Yeah, the noise and the dust would be my
Yeah, I mean, that's-
biggest concerns, especially just sharing the building with
Yeah.
someone else.
That's typical in any shared commercial space,
Yep.
so.
Okay. Well, if there's not any other discussion, I'm open for a motion.
I'll motion. I motion that we grant the conditional use permit for Britton Peterson on 140 North Main Street.
Okay. So we have a motion for approval from Commissioner Lyon.
And I'll second.
Yes, second from Commissioner Lyon. We'll start the voting with Commissioner Packer.
Aye.
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 Did you vote?
Aye. Sorry.
Okay. I was wondering if he was going to abstain, but anyway, yeah. Thanks.
Sorry.
Yeah, the votes were unanimous in favor, so congratulations, you have your conditional use permit, so.
I'll finish up that business license approval tomorrow with the conditional use permit and get that to you for tomorrow Monday. So, yep, thanks for coming.
Okay, we're moving along quickly here. This is good. We got, the fifth item is a conditional use permit for a 45-foot tall building for the Ogden Clinic located at 1330 West, 200 North. So, Dan, are you doing
Yes,
this one?
this one's mine. Wait, I just getting that kydex there squared away. This here is a conditional use for a 45-foot tall building facade, basically. If you'll remember a few years ago, some of you here, I guess most of you were, but they rezoned the property across the street from Smith's down there for the Ogden Clinic, and that went through good. Then they had a building kind of shown there for their, they never said they'd build that, but they had what they was gonna build normally. And since then, they brought in new designs. They want a modern, so they're gonna put a different facade on it than they originally showed. The building still is gonna meet, well, there's the zone, I guess. But the building that their design's still basically the same building. It's under 35 feet. The majority of the building's 34.8, I think. I can't remember what it was, but it's under the 35 feet. The only difference now is they do want to build a little facade out front. The properties to the east of it is the church, so I'm sure they're probably got a little bit taller than 35 on part of their facade too. The church on the other streets, the Mormon, you know, they have the steeples and stuff. Across the streets can be Smiths, Neaters. I don't see any detrimental use for that where they're gonna have any complaints. To the west, the only place that may be even close to a home or something, I measured with my little scale and it's about 300 feet to the first backyard. Plus you got the rail trail in between, and so basically the building is quite a ways from any residence. The building itself, like I said, is going to maintain the under 35 square feet. So we're just talking about maybe 10 feet in the very front that's going to extend over the 45 degree. If you'll look through your packet, I'm sure you looked through it. They showed some details of where the placement is and the building, and I'll show you the page I found first. Can't find the page I was thinking, but it showed the old type buildings. And our first, when we first looked at this building, we thought, hey, is this pretty much the same building as they approved in the development agreement when we went through council? And we've talked to mayor, we've talked to several city councilmen, and they agreed it's basically the same because we got rock, steel, glass. It's basically the same build, just different facade. They all kind of like the look of it, to be straight up with you. The conditional use portion of it is we allow for a taller building if it's a conditional use, and the detriment, it says here, right in here, the conditional use shall be approved if reasonable conditions are proposed or can be imposed to mitigate any reasonable anticipated detrimental effects. As staff, I see no detrimental effects because of the location, where it is with the proximity of the houses. It's the nearest to it. The rest of it's all commercial zoned. That way they all have signs, other things as tall as it or taller. So I see no detrimental impact. So staff recommends approval of this conditional use for the facade there of the new Ogden Clinic.
Cool. Did we receive any comments on this one?
I have not received anything. I didn't. I put the sign out last Friday. I hadn't even asked. Usually you get somebody call and say, hey, what are they doing? Mm-hmm. I don't believe I have anyone. So. Okay. Yeah.
I didn't remember seeing anything come through, so I just wanted to verify that, though.
I don't remember not one call. The sign's been out since last week.
Okay.
Last Friday.
All right. Maybe just for some context, have we done this kind of approval, like a conditional use to have a higher building?
Yes, you do every time you do a church or you do.
Okay, yeah.
We've got them all through town.
Okay. Any other questions, commissioners?
So it doesn't change the requirements for any other commercial building or building zoned. It's just specifically for this building. So I think, my opinion as a design professional is that it'd be kind of a shame to pull that off. I think it really adds to the building and would be nicer with it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think it looks nice architecturally how they've done that. So are there any other opinions or questions? Or
With this east view, is it basically facing the Kaysville Bible Church?
Can you speak to that one, Dan?
Which is this way, facing the Kaysville Bible
Actually,
Church.
that'll be facing the main street or the second north.
Faces
That-
west.
200?
doesn't it?
That corner there would probably be the closest one to the church there on the upper picture.
It faces kind of west, doesn't
It
it?
does say east view.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
come on up.
faces-
Yeah, we can,
please.
if you can clear,
State
if you
your
could
name.
tell us your name.
Porter. I'm with Ogden Clinic.
Okay.
So like right here?
Next one up, right there. So if
I
you,
have a
on
laser
that,
pointer, you want that?
oh,
I think, you have to hold the button.
You have to hold it,
Yeah,
there we go. So that's the Bible Church right there.
okay.
Smith's is up here, The rail trail's right here,
the
Second North
building's
is right there.
sideways.
So this is the main entryway, it's
Facing
heading west.
Facing
Bible
west.
Church is there, entryways.
Facing the trail.
Faces the trail.
So also, are there under eave lightings on the top layer?
We haven't gotten that far yet, so, I mean, one of the things that we've been talking with
This
the
is a
neighbors
concept.
about is making sure that the light pollution
Light
is kept to a
doesn't-
minimum.
that's what I was-
Recognizing we don't want to light up the skies
But it would just light up the trail, basically. No, there's one little plot next to it, if it was in the front, right?
So our goal would be that we accent the building, but that we don't create like a sunshine light that's glaring from everywhere.
For neighbors.
So, and as we went through the development agreement before, that was kind of one of the conditions that are in the development agreement, is that we pay attention to what the light pollution is and how that leaks off of our property, if you will. So recognizing there's lots of businesses around, our goal is to keep the lighting that's accenting down, making sure parking lights are there for safety reasons, but still a little bit lower to the ground. And our goal really is to be good neighbors and work with them on that, so.
So when did the development agreement come about? Where is it from?
2019.
In a couple of years.
And that was done for the zoning or for what?
Basically, it's just for the rezone.
For the rezone?
Yep.
Okay.
Before it was agricultural.
Yeah, before that was, I think it was agriculture
I think
before
it
that.
was.
And then it was A5 or something.
Okay.
Can't remember for
Yeah.
sure. And then,
I don't remember exactly
yeah.
either. Lots have happened in between then and 2018 now, so.
Well, that addressed my questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, my name is Chad Hawkins, and I am probably the closest neighbor.
Okay, there's no public hearing, so we
Oh,
can't.
this is not a feedback time.
Okay, yeah, you can, if you want to speak, you can speak during the public, like, if there's a
When
public
is it?
comment, we'll let you
Oh,
know when you
sorry.
speak, but yeah,
That's not what
there's,
this
since this is a conditional use permit,
Okay.
there is no public comment
It's,
on this.
but it's really up to you if you want to
Yeah,
allow anyone.
I mean,
to
I
speak.
can't allow it, but yeah, okay, I mean,
It's up to you. It's not a public hearing,
Yeah.
but there's no reason why you
just
couldn't
realize that
allow
they're
it.
really, we don't necessarily have to, like, allow it, but,
I'm here.
it's fine, though. I mean, there's not very many people here, so if you want, we can allow it. I'll allow it this time.
Thank you, thank you. All I was gonna say is I'm one of the ones that the most impacted here, my immediate neighbors. On that one map, my backyard was depicted there, and I've been skeptical of this, but after seeing what they've done and how they've handled themselves, I just wanted to offer my support.
Okay,
Actually,
Nice.
and just as you are making these decisions, I support it as long as they honor their working agreement, which I'm aware of, then I want to offer my support. I think it sounds like a great project.
great, thanks. All right.
I find it interesting that we have, this is allowing additional building height is a conditional use, but we don't have any standards for allowing additional height in our ordinance.
Yeah.
So, something we ought to take a look at. Yeah, like you don't have anything else to do, right?
One thing I would, and maybe this isn't the time, but while you're, here and thinking about lighting, if I were the resident nearby, I would shoot for maybe warmer light than real cool blue light. I know that that's kind of a concern with neighbors that, at least with commercial or other, too much lighting, and sometimes it's just too much cool lighting that's not very pleasing to the neighbors. Just a thought.
Thanks. All right. Any other discussion needed, or,
I'm ready to make a motion.
okay, go ahead.
I would make a motion that we, and this, we actually do the approval, right? We're not recommending. Is that right? I would make a motion to approve the conditional use permit for Pascal Meyer and Kevin Porter of the Ogden Clinic at approximately 1330 West 200 North for the additional building height above 35 feet to a maximum of 45 feet as displayed and as discussed in the application here this evening.
I would second.
All right, so we have a motion for approval and a second. We'll start the voting with Commissioner Lott.
Aye.
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 All right, passes unanimously, so you got your conditional use permit. All right, so those are the main items of business. We do have other matters of business to come before the Planning Commission. Do you have anything for us tonight?
We got them switched around somehow in the agenda, so if you'd like to do call to the public.
Oh, yes,
first.
let's do
I
that,
just
just so
noticed
that,
that today, that we
Yep.
have the agenda a little bit backwards, so usually we do call to public and then other matters, but that's up to you.
okay, yeah, let's just follow the agenda, so you can just give us your other items, and then we'll do the call to public, so.
Ms. Greenwood sent out an email just letting you all know, I believe you should have all received it in regards to upcoming conferences and how we're handling things. I don't remember everything that was on it, but I know that correspondence has been sent out. She's actually at the APA right now, so that's why we're in clutch here for tonight, so. Other than that, Deborah Shepherd is our new commissioner that will be sworn in on the 25th, so we're excited to have her join amongst all of you. And other than that, I don't think we have any other correspondence, reports, or calendar, other than we just have our next meeting at the end of May, so.
Okay.
25th.
Well, yeah, thanks for taking care of the meeting tonight and Melinda's absence. You did great. So we'll have our call to public now. So anybody in the public that would like to come to the podium and speak about anything that they'd like, this is your chance to do so. Anybody like to take advantage of that? All right, come on up.
Mindy's looking at me like I know what I'm going to say, and I'm going to tell. My name is Sydney King. I am the owner of the Goods Free Car Wash. I've been for the last 15 years. I just wanted to come let you know who I am, that I am a good, well-standing business owner in the community, and a lot of the things coming down the pike may severely impact my business moving forward in how I remodel my existing business, or if I choose to tear it down and lease the land to another type of car wash, still another car wash. It's still a business, has been a car wash since 1994. Just because other businesses are coming in under the same name, I don't feel like my property should be punished for having the same business when I've already been in business. So I just wanted to let you know who I am. I care about Kaysville, I care about the business, I care about the community. I've absolutely loved having good customers like Mindy come through, and have built a really good relationship with folks here. So just wanted to let you know I'm here.
All right,
Thank
thanks.
you. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Just a little bit of context on that. I'm assuming what she's referring to is the ordinance
Yes,
change
we
that we've
have
been
it,
looking
yes.
at
Yep.
about, I guess we're basically eliminating car washes, is that right?
We're not eliminating them. I believe we're putting
Kind of a moratorium that we can't allow anymore.
well, as of right now,
Yeah.
there's not, we tabled the item. We
Yeah.
didn't table it, we said it's still, it's not been tabled.
Continued it.
Continued,
Right.
yeah.
And the ordinance that we were trying to put in place was going to put like 1,000-foot distance between any existing car wash. So it was going to make it difficult. But I believe the representative that came and spoke in behalf of the property was wanting to, the discussion was change of use, and it would go from a bay car wash to a tunnel car wash, and add on the existing property, where if it stayed the same use, then it was permitted to have them upgrade or remodel or what. But because they were going to take the next the property to the north of them, northwest-ish. Yes, I'm getting the stink eye from Dan. What is it, north?
West.
Then, so that's kind of where we landed on it with the ordinance from a month ago, I believe, that we brought that forward.
Okay. Yep. All right, well, we'll close the call to the public, and I would be open for a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Okay, we're adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
Wow, 30 minutes.
We get used to this, Mindy.